we're going to practice getting up and down off the floor. Now, before you run away, if you're somebody that can get up and down off the floor like it's no big deal, well, I'm going to make it a big deal. I'm going to make it a strength, stretch, balance exercise. But everything I teach is a strength, stretch, and balance exercise. And it's all at different levels. It could be you just want to be able to get up and down off the floor, or it could be that you want to really get a workout. And I can show you both, which I am going to. Now, what I'd like to explain about this is that those that do find it difficult to get up and down off the floor, and I find younger people who are maybe really big long distance runners get really tight and they're like, I can't get on the floor to play with my kid, my baby. So it's not like unusual that people aren't comfortable doing that. But one of the main things I think about falling for people who are older in my vintage is that people are not on the floor very much. So you make this assumption that the floor, you could be up and down off the floor if you wanted to, and you know, assumptions are not good because that's not reality. Reality is, can I get up and down off the floor with ease? Do I enjoy being on the floor? And when I'm sitting on the floor, how am I sitting? Because I can show you a little bit of that today too. Because all of it is an opportunity to become stronger, more mobile, more balanced. Motor skill is what I look at. So all those things I just said are combining your ability to move well, or I never separate endurance, strength, balance as we do today in our society. Now, if you have a good foundation, which is what I teach, is foundation of movement. If you have a good foundation that connects all those things together, then yes, you may go out and run more or get on your treadmill. You may love doing that, but how you're doing that comes from your foundation that I love to teach. And guess what happens? Your injuries go down or go away, or they do not surface. And age is not really an issue. It really isn't. So what we're going to do today, like I said, is go down and up off the floor, and we're going to be integrating these principles of balance, mobility, or you could call flexibility. I like to call it mobility. Balance, mobility, and strength. And then just as I am practical, I get to use something that's real in life. So I don't have to go to my yoga class and do my balance. I don't have to go to my strength training class to do strength training. And I don't have to go get on my elliptical. Not that you can't do those things. But if you do this, you get it all here, and you get to get up and down off the floor. Practical. I am the most practical, crazy person you will ever meet. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to get out here. I got a floor. I have a chair here. Why do I have a chair? Well, this is for people who really do struggle, possibly with getting up and down off the floor. And if you have limitations in your structure, meaning you can't bend and keep an arch, you may need the chair there in the beginning to maintain the quality of your movement. Because I'm a very quality-based person. I want your skill level to go up so your injuries and your pain will go down, and your limitations. Can we just call them limitations? That's a lot nicer way of saying it. All right, so here we go. I am going to need my feet to show up. So do I need to back this up a little? There we go. All right, so I'm going to put my fingers on my spine in the arch here. When I don't have an arch, my spinous processes stick out. When I do have an arch, they go in. If I have an overarch, my butt is up. I'm not as worried about overarching because we've been a butt-tucked society for so long. But you don't want to overarch, but I can help you correct that without a lot of problems. So don't sweat it if you're a little overarched. It's really okay. Relax the belly. If I don't relax the belly, I can't move as well. If I have my hands and fists tight, how can I use my hands? If I have my jaw tight, how can I use my jaw? So it's just let go. Follow your bones. Okay, bones, feet bones, out a little, toe bones, turn out just a little. So I'm not in, I'm not way out. Woo! I'm sort of just straight with a little turnout, forever and ever. Straight with a slight turnout. Then I plant my feet so they can get stronger, and I turn my upper thighs out. Now this is details that I want you to have. Big toe is planted, the upper thigh turns out. Don't crank on your knees. It'll hurt them. Just think out. It's not a big movement, not a big movement, just but important. Fingers on my groove, belly is relaxed. I'm going to bend until I can't bend anymore without losing my groove. Put your hand in the chair if you like. I'm going to turn a little so you can see this. I always think of Downset Hut. Everyone sees football, whether you want to or not. It is what is out there. So I try to get my hand to the floor without losing my arch. So it's like a Downset Hut. So you can move your feet apart if you want. All is well. Move your feet apart. Get to the floor. Get to the chair. I'm going to take this down into pieces first. You go down on one knee. You keep the other knee up. You keep the arch in your back if possible. This is just if you need it. Then you take this hand and put it out here for the knee, the side that you're kneeling on. Now here's the next piece. From my armpit to my hip, I do not twist, I do not bend. I do not twist, I do not bend. Here to here. I go, I pivot and try to ease myself down to my butt. So now it's not as easy for people to sit tall in this position because usually their hips are tight. So they're kind of like this. Do the best you can to be as tall as you can. So I'm going to turn towards you now so you see me. One leg is up, one leg is down, and you're trying not to be a slumper here. This is the back strengthening part. So I sit tall, I may use my hand back here, but as tall and as long as I can make my spine. You can imagine having on a brace, not that I want you to tighten, but just imagine that you have a spine that is really straight, because then you'll put the force in your hips, and that is where we want the force. Okay? Now we're going to get up. I think I'm going to move the chair over here so that you can see me this way. So I'm tall. The chair's here if you need it. I'm going to go up onto this knee. So I am going to go up that way because that knee is down. If I try to go this way and have this knee that's up, it doesn't make sense. So the knee that is down is the direction I go. So I will keep my spine straight, stick my butt out, and go up with my butt. Remember, no twist, just pivot. Then, you need this, you use it, you keep that arch in your spine, and now you're like you were a minute ago, and you hinge up. So you're putting the stress here, you're stabilizing here, and you're using all of this to get stronger because you're not letting it bend. Okay? So, I'm going to go through it again. I'm going to start speeding it up. Put the chair there if you need it. If you don't, then don't. Fingers on my spine. Remember, put your hand in the chair if you need to be eased down or eased up. Fingers on my spine. Turn my thighs out. I'm going to go down. If you need a chair, take it. Put the hand down like, now I'm Downset Hut. If I put my right hand down, I'm going to my right butt. If I put my left hand down, I'm going to my left butt. And you're going to find out if you're left or right butted. You didn't know that, but you are left or right butted. So, I'm going to go left this time. If you need the chair, use it. I'm going to put my left hand down. I am not going to twist. I'm going to pivot to my knee. I keep my side of my body straight. I ease myself to the floor. A lot of stretching in the hips. It's not easy if you've never done this before. Now we're going to get back up, same thing. I pivot to the knee that is down. I have the arch the best I can. I put the foot under. My butt is up. I know you don't like it, but I promise it works. Then I hinge up. Okay, now we're going to start getting into this. We're going to take it to an advanced level. Don't do the advanced level if that's all hard. But if you feel like you kind of can do that, you can play with this next piece. This is a momentum in reality. You don't have to break it down and go this slow once you get the pieces. So I put my legs apart, turn my thighs out. I'm going to go down with my left because you can see me better. I scoot out, I pivot down. Gravity's going to help me down anyway. I'm not sitting on this foot, it's just underneath me. Now getting up is harder than going down. That's why people, when they fall, they can't get up. Because gravity, right? So gravity is your friend, always is your friend. So let's make it your friend when it doesn't feel like it is. So I'm going to put my hand down. Now here's what you have. You have to think momentum. You have to think crotch up. You have to think about your crotch going up. So you could do this. You could break it to pieces. You could go knee, and then you use the foot and the toe, and you throw your butt up. Okay? So there's a little momentum. If you need to start off with getting a little head start to here, that's fine. But I want you to literally use your toe and your foot and think crotch up. Boing. It's a little scary at first. Now, when I used to teach this a lot, I took from yoga, I don't know, I call them sun salutations, but they're supposed to be, what are they?
Sun salutations.
Salutations, that's somebody from Chicago. But if you're from Texas, you call them sol, like y'all. Anyway, so sun salutations, people did sun salutations, it's an exercise. And I created butt salutations, whatever they are.
Thank you.
Okay. In Texas, we call them sun, sol, whatever. So here we go. I'm going to go kind of fast, but it becomes an exercise. It's really cool. So here we go. I'm going to go over, take my right hand down, I pivot. I come back up, I'm up. Left, down, up. Right, down, up. So I don't get worn out. I'm more worn out from talking than I am worn out from moving. I go over. So you can do these because I used to do them in class all the time. We would just go down and up. So structure, structure, structure. And you can even watch athletes. They do this. You can even watch athletes do this. You know how they do those flips? You see football players flip. There's a momentum, and the technique is hugely important for that big movement to occur. So when I do this, I can really, I can play with it. Little or big, doesn't matter.